Okay, well, I am here today with Maureen. She is graduating from Limbic System Rewire program. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Yes.
All right, so I just have a couple questions for you, Maureen. So the first one is, what were you struggling with in your health before joining Limbic System Rewire?
So I dealt with some chronic stuff that was pretty under control, probably since childhood. And then in my third trimester of pregnancy, my body just kind of gave out on me. I started having severe insomnia. Um, that's when we found out that I had Lyme. And sorry, I made some notes down here.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We kind of got back to a place of stability, and then we moved into a place that had mold. And so we ended up really sick. I ended up the sickest. My daughter suffered as well. And so lots of trauma around the just the medical piece of that, brain fog, lack of fatigue, lots of fear, and not even realizing how much I was trying to control things, because when you walk through something like that, it kind of primes your brain for fear. I did have some childhood trauma as well, so I think that added to it, because my husband didn't get as sick as I did. So
Yep.
We had our faith in God, and but there was just lots of symptoms, lots of reactions, just always trying to make sure we were in a safe environment, to the place where it was almost like a OCD.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of felt like you were kind of in bondage too. So it was a big burden for you. You were always like, that was really weighing heavy on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. And how long were you dealing with those symptoms?
So when we moved into this house, I mean, really bad for probably about 2 to 3 years, but I mean, I had symptoms on and weird ones just since I was little. And then another interesting part of our story is just our daughter used to react to all kinds of foods just randomly. And so it's been cool to see her just watching the journey. She's 3. The differences we've seen in her, just in the way we responded to things, which I'll tell later on in some of this questions.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Can't wait to hear about that. So quite a few health challenges regarding the mold and, just mentally too, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. You had those health challenges.
Financially, it was hard on our marriage. We've been to so many practitioners. We've been treated really poorly by some, and then just spent a lot of money. I mean, pretty common, I think, for people who walk through it.
Yep, you're not alone on that. You're not alone on that. So why did you almost not join the program?
Honestly, it was the price, and then it was just a fear of being let down again, a fear of putting in all this money, all this time, and there was some help with some of the stuff I did, but it was just, you kind of felt like you were just trapped in this vicious cycle. So I guess fear of like just one more disappointment.
Yep. Because you've gone down, and many people that are coming to us have gone down that road. They've spent a lot of time and energy, money, practitioners trying to find the answer. So you're not alone on that. So what was the deciding factor that gave you the confidence to move forward with Limbic System Rewire?
We prayed, and I was just sick of all the supplements. I was sick of, I was just not feeling the best for my daughter. And so we just decided, my husband really encouraged me. He's like, we'll make it happen. I mean, we didn't really have the money. We took out credit cards to pay for it. But we were also, the other road was continuing to have expenses as well. So
what was one of your first wins, the biggest realization that made you really think that, this is going to work for me?
Yeah, even my physical therapist was just like, your muscles are not as tight. I felt calmer during the days. I noticed times when, because I watch my friends' toddlers once a week too, and then I have my own. So it's like, I'm a pretty calm person, but inside
Yeah.
you can feel very
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed by your symptoms.
Oh, I
And I
know.
was like, oh, like I'm washing the dishes and I'm still able to engage and I don't feel as overwhelmed. And one of the big ones for us is we went on our anniversary trip to Pagosa. We go every year. It's a family thing for us. And we stayed in a hotel room where there was visible mold and I didn't panic, which was huge.
Good.
And I didn't react physically. We stayed overnight and my eyes would usually swell up. I didn't react physically. So that
Wow.
was
That's a huge
one.
win. That is a huge win.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's amazing that not only you didn't react physically to it, but you didn't react mentally,
Yes.
emotionally to it. It didn't get to you.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't ignite that stress response in you.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
that's huge. So my final question is, so what are some other measurable results that you've enjoyed since you started?
I think me and my husband both have enjoyed. I made some notes, so I'm sorry, I'm not used to looking at the camera and stuff, but
You can read your
just like decreased fear overall.
huge.
Insomnia was my biggest one because during pregnancy I started really not sleeping and I was just in a really dark place and we sought all kinds of help. But just being able to let go of the fear of trying to control the symptoms. And I don't do that perfectly, but it was like a night and day difference to be like, okay, stop trying to get out of it. So that was huge. Decreased rumination. I have total food freedom now. I still eat like a fairly healthy diet, but I'm not stuck with all this histamine low. And I mean, that's like, I used to get mad at my husband. I'd be like, you got to freeze the food right away after we make it. And just, it was hard on our relationship. And so just to enjoy food again has been huge. I've learned to push through days where I don't feel well and to look for the joy and just, yeah, just not get as stuck in those, in the fear of what's going on, what is this? Because symptoms can be scary when you don't know what's going on. So when you remind yourself that most of it is a stress response and the rest can be sorted out, that was really freeing for me.
Yeah. 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 Isn't that amazing? It's, you know, how you can recognize now, you can recognize when, you know, you're having the stress response or you're ruminating on something and it's causing you more health challenges because of the stress response. And so being able to recognize that, right?
Yeah.
And be able to calm yourself down. I love it. I love that you're more calm and I love that you can eat more foods. And I love that you have a strengthened relationship with your family, with your husband, with your daughter, and with Christ.
Yes.
So those are amazing. And your daughter then too is, you know, she's mimicking you. You know, people often ask us about other people. And I always say your behavior and your actions rub off on other people. And so you being calm around, you know, your triggers and being calm around eating foods is she's recognizing that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the thing about her is like, we never like, because Kinsley's had her own medical trauma, I didn't listen to the videos or anything in front of her just because I don't want her hearing more illness type stuff. But just by the work I did, us changing talk around like good food, bad food, her food reactions completely went away. She used to eat random stuff and she would turn red, get welts. That's gone. And that's just because we are more regulated. So that was pretty amazing to watch. And then my smell sensitivity is down. I mean, not every day, but I have increased energy. I know there's still work to be done, but there's been a major shift and I don't feel trapped anymore. And that's huge.
I love it. I love all your wins. This is amazing. And so you can confidently say to other people that may be watching this that are thinking, should I join? That you could confidently say that this was worth it for you, the investment, the time and energy, and in the results that you've gotten.
Yes. Yep. Definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to add?
just a thank you, honestly. Like, it was really cool to watch them. I mean, because a lot of things can say they're faith-based, but the way that Nick and Hannah, and I didn't get to know you as much, but they truly poured their heart into this program, and they really did center it on Christ. And just the weekly support was huge. I was so sad when I finally had to leave the Facebook group, but that the coaching and the support really does help, because it keeps you motivated and you can ask questions. People pray for you. It's a very life-giving group.
That's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today to share with me your journey. And I love to hear it. So I'm so happy for you, and keep doing the tools and the exercise that you've learned. Now you have them for the rest of your life. And so keep it up, Maureen. And thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.